What's good, y'all? Today I want to sort of do a Sea Viper beginner combo guide, sort of like a guide to her more simple and easy combos. I've seen a few comments lately going around, people saying that they're sad that they can't play Viper because she looks so cool, but apparently she's, extremely difficult to play. Well, I want to show you guys that that's not necessarily the case. She can be very difficult to play if you want to do everything she can offer, but there definitely are ways to simplify her and still get some really solid damage and play her as an effective character without doing all of that crazy flashy stuff. So first, what I want to talk about is her special cancelable moves, right? She has very limited amounts of these, actually. Stand medium punch is special cancelable, but we'll really be talking about standing light kick, crouching medium punch, and crouching heavy punch. Those are the big three right there. Now, standing light kick will combo into heavy thunder knuckle, OD burn kick, medium thunder knuckle, and any of her supers. Now, crouching medium punch gives you a few more options. You can do all of the moves that you could do from standing light kick, but you can also do light thunder knuckle. Light thunder knuckle gives you a little bit better Oki than medium and heavy thunder knuckle, and a little bit more corner carry. So it is definitely worth using off of the crouching medium punch. The other one you would want to use here is light burn kick, which also combos from crouching medium punch. It gives you a little bit more damage, and you can dash up here and get a throw. So that's really nice. Now, off crouching medium punch, you can also combo into EX Seismo. So this is the first of the EX Seismo combos we'll be talking about. I'll go more in depth about what you should do after an EX Seismo or a regular Seismo a little bit later in the video. But for now, just know that this is a combo starter and you can connect other moves after the Seismo. Now, crouching heavy punch gives you, once again, all of the above, everything I've already talked about. From crouching medium punch and standing light kick, you can also do off of crouching heavy punch, right? But crouching heavy punch also gives you access to a regular cancel into Seismo, which is really, really nice. That's very important for the combo routes that are going to be coming up in the video. Now, I want to talk a little bit about where you would use each of these normals, right? In a combo, they are combo extenders. So they are the in-between from your combo starter, like a standing medium punch, for example, or a crouching jab, and your combo ender, which would usually be a special move, right? Your combo extender are these cancelable normals that we just talked about. So from a crouching jab, you can always link or chain into a standing light kick. This is one of your main confirms off of crouching jab. You can do 3 jabs maximum into standing light kick, and then cancel into heavy thunder knuckle, into the ender, which is done by inputting 2 punches and forward at the same time. You can also link a standing light kick after crouching medium punch. So that's also good to know. On normal hit, no counter hit necessary there. Now for crouching medium punch, one of the main ways you're going to be comboing into this move on normal hit without any counter hit or punish counter is going to be from standing medium punch. This is the only move that lets you link into crouch medium punch directly. As you can see, that said 2 hits. That was indeed a combo. And that lets you confirm into any of your enders that we talked about before, right? Now, standing medium punch is also really good on block. It's +1, which means you still have your turn if you use this move against an opponent that's blocking. So it is really good to just kind of throw out there when you're close to your opponent, and that's sort of how you would start this combo. You throw it out, assuming they might block it, and if they don't block it, you can link your combo afterward. Now, as for crouching heavy punch, the only real way to link into this move on normal hit without any counter hit or anything is via a jump in, right? But generally, if you ever land this move, you're going to get quite a long combo start because of this Seismo, as I talked about earlier. So from this Seismo that you combo from crouching heavy punch, there are many things you can do. For now, we won't talk about the super jump cancels. I don't want to get into that yet. We will talk about that in a future video coming very, very soon. But for now, we're not going to talk about anything too daunting. We're going to talk about linking a juggle from the Seismo, right? There are many things you can do in this situation. As you just saw, Heavy Thunder Knuckle into the Ender is really solid damage and gives you great Oki. You can also do Standing Heavy Kick to knock them right down. You can also do OD Burn Kick for even more damage. And what's cool about OD Burn Kick is that it actually lets you combo into level 3 or level 2. Now, another thing you can do off of Seismo is just go straight into any super of your choice. Usually, I would recommend level 1 because, you know, you're saving a little bit of bar by using level 1 if you have more than 1 bar of super. But also, the install, which we'll talk about in a future video, is pretty important to the character. If you want to play this character at a high level eventually, it's worth getting used to comboing into level 1, just so that you have access to this install bar. Now I want to talk about some counter hit confirms. First, we'll talk about things that let you counter hit into Standing Light Kick, right? And there's one big one. The one big one is Standing Heavy Punch. Standing Heavy Punch is a really, really nice button to use in neutral because it moves you so far forward. Look at how far I am from Akuma right now. Usually a lot of my moves will whiff here, but Standing Heavy Punch does connect. It moves really, really far. If this move counter hits, you can link Stand Light Kick from pretty much any range and go straight into Heavy Thunder Knuckle or OD Burn Kick, as we talked about earlier. Now, as for Crouch Medium Punch, there are a few options here. You can do Crouching Jab into Crouch Medium Punch. This is really nice because if you do Standing Medium Punch on block and they try and jab you, you can do your Crouching Light Punch before they get theirs out and do this combo. Another way to get Crouch Medium Punch off of a counter hit normal is another Crouching Medium Punch. This is nice to throw out there because Viper has a lot of +2 situations, and since her Crouching Medium Punch is 6-frame startup, you'll usually get the opportunity to counter hit with it in +2 scenarios. One example of a +2 scenario is, as we talked about earlier, Light Burn Kick into the follow-up, dash forward, leaves you +2, you can counter hit Crouch Medium Punch. You'll trade with a 4-frame normal, but you'll counter hit most other moves. And the last move we'll talk about that lets you link Crouch Medium Punch on counter hit is Crouching Medium Kick. This move is really nice to throw out because it's only -1 on block, which is nice. You're not punishable or anything. It's nice to throw out there. And on normal hit, you can land Stand Light Kick, right? So you're getting a combo either way if it hits, but on counter hit, you get some pretty nice combos. And there's one more counter hit route I want to talk about, and it's a pretty fun one. This is counter hit Standing Medium Punch. It leaves you +8 on hit, which lets you link Crouching Medium Kick. And as we just saw, as I just talked about, Crouching Medium Kick on normal hit lets you link a Stand Light Kick. So the whole sequence looks a little bit like this. Now, unfortunately, there are no moves that combo into Crouching Heavy Punch on counter hit. However, there are plenty of moves that you can drive rush or hit punish counter to get a Crouching Heavy Punch off of them. One example of this is Crouching Medium Kick, very notably. This is the best thing to do out of Drive Rush Crouching Medium Kick, and Drive Rush Crouching Medium Kick is very strong because you're going to catch someone from quite a distance away if they're trying to walk back in neutral, right? Another thing you can do is Crouching or Standing Medium Punch. Both of those also link into Crouching Heavy Punch. And Drive Rush Standing Medium Punch is really nice because it's one of her most plus on block moves. There you go, at +5. This is going to give you access to a throw, even mid-screen. They won't be able to walk back after this if you want to throw them. And on hit, you get some pretty nice combos. Now we'll talk a little bit about punish counter. Everything you saw me do out of Drive Rush moves can also be done on punish counter moves, right? So that includes your crashing medium kick into crashing heavy punch, and your crashing medium punch into crashing heavy punch. I would say crashing medium punch into crash heavy punch is going to be your go-to as an easy, simple punish combo starter. This is because it works in so many different situations, right? For example, very notably, on drive reversal. It's a very, very solid combo starter. As for a full punish combo with inputs on the screen, I would do something like this. There you go. That's going to be some pretty decent corner carry, really solid damage, and really good Oki afterwards. You're going to dash there. You're going to be pretty plus on dash, +5, really great. Another thing you can do as a punish combo starter is standing heavy punch. Now, this is going to be a little bit more damage in the long run, but you're going to be using a lot more meter. You do standing heavy punch into crash medium punch, and then cancel the crash medium punch into EX Seismo. You can then link heavy Thunder Knuckle for even more damage. However, if you look at the drive gauge, you spent pretty much half of all of your drive gauge there. So it's definitely more costly than doing something like this, but it's nice to get the little bit of extra damage there. And you do more drive gauge damage because, as you can see, doing a medium punch punish counter against your opponent only takes away almost half of a bar of drive gauge, but standing heavy punch takes out a full bar. So that's important to note when you're routing your punish combos. Here are a few other options for punish combos you can do. Now, one of the last combos I want to talk about here is going to be your stun combo. When you stun your opponent, there's one thing you should definitely do every time, and that's use this move that you'd almost never otherwise use, Focus Force. Now, Focus Force, as I actually forgot to mention earlier, if you don't charge it, it is a pretty decent ender for a lot of your combos. You can do Crash Medium Punch directly into Focus Force, dash forward, and get some pretty solid Oki. So anywhere that I said you can do a Crouching Medium Punch into a special move, you can also slot in Focus Force if you'd like. But what I'd really like to talk about here is stun into fully charged Focus Force. This puts your opponent into a crumple state, letting you get a crouching heavy punch as a link, and then continue the combo from there. Now I'll show you guys real quick what that looks like. Something like that, right? This lets her get some pretty crazy damage off of a stun, whereas a lot of characters, their combos would scale too much to get any significant damage. Viper definitely does quite a bit of damage on stun. For the maximum amount of damage, which I'll show you right now, you want to do the OD version of this move. As you can see, almost 60% off of a pretty simple combo, right? This was Focus Force fully charged into Crouch Heavy Punch, Light Seismo, OD Burn Kick. Very, very simple. Only one cancel in there. No super jump cancels or anything. No feints. Very, very simple combo and really, really solid damage. Once again, don't try and land this move outside of stun. It's not very useful, the fully charged version. As I said earlier, you can use the non-charged version out of Crouching Medium Punch, but that's pretty much the only other time you'd use this move. But yeah, great stun combo. Now, there is one more thing I want to talk about with you guys real quick. I know at the beginning of this video, I did say no feints, no super jump cancels, but hear me out. feints are pretty easy in this game. They are not nearly as difficult as they were in Street Fighter 4. They're still not easy, but they are pretty simple, and I think that you guys can do them if you put in the lab time, right? I want you guys to practice or try crouching heavy punch, feinted into another crouching heavy punch. It'll look something like this. This is Fierce Feint Fierce, as we know from Street Fighter 4. They had this combo return in this game, and it is one of her go-to combo routes, even at the higher levels of play. Now, as a little tip here, when you do the feint, you can really treat it as if you're just canceling into heavy Thunder Knuckle, right? Do that first. Think about that. Cancel crouch heavy punch into heavy Thunder Knuckle. I'm sure you'll find this relatively simple. All you have to do for this combo is make sure that when you're hitting heavy Thunder Knuckle, you're also hitting any kick button at the same time. This will give you a feint. Now, in Street Fighter 4, you had to specifically time the feint after a certain amount of frames from the move startup. It would look something like that. If you look at my inputs, it would be like a plink input. But in this game, you don't need to do that at all. You can just hit them at the same time. So it's much more simple than it would seem on the surface. I say give it a shot. I really think most of you will be able to get this. And it does add quite a bit of damage to your combos. But yeah, those are some of C Viper's simple, easy combos. I will have another video out tomorrow going over her intermediate combos. And the next day after that, I'll be posting a video going over her advanced combos. So stay tuned for those. Please drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.